The hospital hallway smelled of antiseptic and hope, but for Ethan Carter, every second felt heavier than the last. His pregnant wife, Amelia, had been rushed into the delivery room after unexpected complications. 9 months of excitement had led to this moment, yet instead of hearing a baby's first cry, Ethan stood outside pretending to be the worried husband while secretly checking messages from another woman, Vanessa, his mistress. Unknown to everyone, Ethan had spent the last year planning his future without Amelia. She came from a wealthy family and had inherited millions after her parents' tragic accident. Her fortune, her mansion, and her company shares would all legally become Ethan's if she died. The pregnancy had only complicated his plans. A child meant another heir. As Amelia fought for her life behind the operating room doors, Vanessa texted him. "Is it over yet?" Ethan typed back. "Almost. Just be patient." A faint smile crossed his face before he quickly hid his phone as a nurse walked by. Inside the operating room, doctors struggled desperately. Amelia's heartbeat weakened every passing minute. "Doctor, we're losing her. Prepare more blood." The room erupted into controlled chaos. Despite unbearable pain, Amelia whispered only one sentence. "Please, save my baby." Those were the last words she managed before closing her eyes. Minutes later, the machines emitted one long heartbreaking tone. The room fell silent. One doctor removed his gloves and lowered his head. "We've lost the mother." Outside, Ethan heard footsteps approaching. He forced tears into his eyes, dropping to his knees just as the senior doctor stepped through the doors. I'm so sorry," the doctor said quietly. Ethan pretended to collapse in grief. "What about my wife? We couldn't save her." He buried his face in his hands, hiding the smile threatening to escape. Everything had gone exactly as planned. Later that evening, after signing hospital paperwork, Ethan left through the back entrance where Vanessa waited inside a black luxury SUV. The moment the doors closed, they laughed. "It's finally ours," Vanessa whispered. "The mansion. The money. The company." Ethan uncorked an expensive bottle of champagne. "To our new life." They clinked their glasses. Neither noticed the elderly hospital janitor silently watching from across the parking lot. He had seen everything. Meanwhile, back inside the hospital, the senior doctor stared at Amelia's medical file one last time. His expression wasn't one of sadness. It was one of certainty. He slowly closed the folder and whispered to the head nurse. "Don't release the final documents yet." The nurse looked confused. "Why, doctor?" He answered in barely more than a whisper. "Because something doesn't add up." He reopened the file. One line froze him completely. "Mother, deceased. Baby, alive." Then another report arrived. The DNA sample taken during the emergency surgery had produced an unexpected result. The doctor looked toward the hospital window where Ethan's car disappeared into the night. He quietly said words that would change everyone's lives forever. "That baby isn't Ethan Carter's." The celebration ended the moment Ethan's phone rang. He glanced at the screen. "St. Mary's Hospital." Annoyed, he answered. "What now?" The senior doctor spoke calmly. "Mr. Carter, there's an issue with your wife's case. We need you to return to the hospital immediately." Ethan forced a worried tone. Is something wrong with the baby? There are some documents that require your signature." Nothing in the doctor's voice sounded unusual, yet something about it unsettled Ethan. 30 minutes later, Ethan and Vanessa arrived separately to avoid suspicion. The doctor welcomed Ethan into his office and closed the door. For several seconds, he said nothing. He simply placed Amelia's medical file on the desk. Then he quietly spoke. "Before we release your wife's final records, there's something you should know." Ethan swallowed. The baby survived. For a split second, genuine surprise flashed across his face. What? The child is alive. His mind raced. A living child meant his inheritance could become far more complicated. Then the doctor continued. We also performed emergency genetic testing during surgery. Ethan's heartbeat quickened. The results don't match. He frowned. I don't understand. The doctor looked directly into his eyes. The infant is not biologically related to you. Silence. Ethan felt the room spin, not because he believed Amelia had betrayed him, but because he knew the truth. Months earlier, he had secretly undergone fertility testing after years of trying to conceive. The results had confirmed he was infertile. Amelia had never known. She had become pregnant through a fertility procedure using a donor, believing it was their shared dream of becoming parents. The doctor watched Ethan carefully. Instead of grief or confusion, Ethan showed calculation. That reaction told the doctor everything. Outside the office, Vanessa tried to overhear the conversation. Nearby, the elderly janitor recognized her immediately. He remembered seeing her embrace Ethan in the parking lot just after Amelia's death. Quietly, he informed hospital security. Within minutes, security cameras were reviewed. The footage showed Ethan leaving the hospital, meeting Vanessa, and celebrating with champagne only minutes after being told his wife had died. The doctor stared at the monitor in disbelief. This wasn't grief, he whispered. This was relief. Meanwhile, Ethan realized he had lost control of the situation. If the child lived, questions about Amelia's estate would follow. Investigators would examine financial records, insurance policies, and recent legal documents. He stood to leave. I'll come back another day. The doctor calmly replied. I'm afraid you won't. Two detectives entered the office. We'd like to ask you a few questions regarding your wife's death. Vanessa tried to leave through the lobby, but security stopped her.